Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Jane Dean and today I'll be discussing the interview of the K1 visa and the following 3-ish months, or depending when you enter the United States thereafter. So firstly, the interview is not anything you have to be worried about if you have all your documents sorted out and followed my previous video on how to prepare your documents for the K1 visa. The last thing that you just have to be absolutely sure about is your fiance. During this process, hopefully you've been together quite a while and have been talking a lot, and if you have so, you are definitely prepared to answer any type of question they might throw at you. There's a really good person that I follow to prepare for my questions. Even though you feel you know a lot about your fiance, it's a good practice run to have someone ask you questions about your fiance. For me, it was fun because my parents asked a lot of questions. They've only met him one time, so they're always asking questions about how he's doing, what he's doing now, and that was a good practice run for me, discussing our relationship and my fiance with my parents. When you prepare, you just want to make sure that you're not rehearsing answers in your mind, because that's the thing that they look for too. They don't want you to sound like you have practiced super answers, the perfect answer, and you're reciting it like a little parrot. So I will add the person that I followed on YouTube to practice for my questions in the bottom of the video, so feel free to check him out. His name is Carlos, and he covered, I think, 60 or something questions, and what I did is I let my fiance just ask me it, and then I just answered it as good as I could. It's a very fun process actually, because you get to see what you don't know about your fiance, and then you get to learn more stuff, and it's actually pretty cool. A thing that you have to remember is nobody knows each other 100%. So if there happens to fall out a question that you are not quite sure about, just say, I'm actually not sure, but I'd love to ask him and find out. So what they asked me at the interview wasn't anything, they didn't try to make me confused or put me in the corner and try to ask me questions that I definitely wouldn't know, like the day he was born, like the exact day, was it a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? They didn't ask things like that. They didn't even ask his mother's maiden name, which a lot of people says you have to know. It was really straightforward questions. They just want to see, are you comfortable about big things that you actually should be able to know after you've been in a month-long relationship with someone. So I'm not gonna cover 100 questions of what they might ask. Anything is on the table for them to ask. So the best preparation is to go to that video that I said. He really covers a lot. If you went through that, you should be perfectly fine. So when you get to the embassy in Johannesburg, for me, they let you in, they make sure you have all your documents, they take your documents, you go to a next window, and it's not two people standing over you or anything. It's just you one-on-one to another person. He goes through your evidence and through your documents, asks you a few questions, take your fingerprints, what. And as he went through my evidence, he just asked me some questions about the photos, like where was this photo taken, about when was this taken. He asked me where the first place was that I met my fiance in person, and he also asked me what my fiance does for a living. And that was it. That was the questions. It was less than 5 questions, and it was over and done with. Then they tell you immediately if it looks good or if it doesn't look good. They told me immediately they're gonna approve it the afternoon, and I should receive an email from the mailing service in the next 48 hours. I never received an email from the mailing services, but my documents came to me in a different city within 2 weeks. So the wait time isn't that long. I did email them in between because I know the visitor's visa, B1, B2 visa, excuse the cat. The B1, B2 visa is, had a wait time of like 4 days and I had the visa. But this took a little longer because I think they have to compile a whole packet of things. When you go to get your visa at the post office in whatever city you are, you also receive like this thick of a packet of things that you're not allowed to open. This packet of things you have to take in your carry-on luggage when you fly to America so that you can give it to the border control person. It's the person that checks your passport. He asks for that packet, he opens it, he writes down a lot of your information, and then you're good to go through and be in America for 90 days to get married and get your rest of your forms sorted out. So that's where I now am in the process. I am currently in America. I got my K1 visa, I went through border control, gave them that big packet, everything looked fine. And now I'm here planning my wedding, making sure that I'll be married within the 90 days. When you get in the country, you get a little stamp and it says how long it's valid, your stay is valid for. Your visa is actually valid for a few months. I got mine in April and it's actually valid until September, but that's only the time frame you have to actually get into America. After that you stay, but as soon as you're in America, you only have 90 days. If you're not married within 90 days, it will be a violation of your visa and you will get deported back or you would face consequences. That's it for now. It's pretty straightforward. I can't think of anything special that happened in between the time, anything that was really difficult or stood in my way of getting the visa. Everything was pretty quickly. The key thing is just to stay calm, be patient with the process, know that everything will work out if you're prepared. I hope to see you in the next videos, which will probably be in a few months. I have to catch up with the process now, do some research, make sure I can give you guys the correct information. In the meantime, I will be on the lookout on my social media for any questions you have about the process, and I might do a video about general questions, but it depends on how many questions I have. If I don't get enough questions, I will not be posting that video and I'll just continue with other topics. But for now, I will be videoing about my au pair year and answering questions about that. So if you're interested about being an au pair or know anybody who's going to be an au pair, please send them to those videos. And yeah, I will see you there. Bye-bye.